He's a convict. Not some Zulu warlock.
You know what you know.
We're so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still
He's a convict. Not some Zulu warlock.
You know what you know.
To the world, as an American citizen who did not vote for a convicted felon for president, let me just say, as I will continue to say, as long as this man will be president, half of America willingly devolved our nation for the world to see. If our news coverage of this unbelievable American act, they act like there's nothing to see here. I would like to address every nation on the planet. We are no longer the world's moral compass, if we ever were. A felon for president of the United States is mind-blowingly unreal. So, to all of you countries going forward, the United States can no longer make you feel ashamed of your leaders and cannot ever again dictate any moral actions to the world. So to start with, this is the type of lunacy these Republicans were preaching to the American people about this convicted sex offender, nuclear plan stealing, insurrection starter, and business fraud named Donald Trump.
For leading us in this fight will be a man who, although wounded and facing danger, he stood up and raised his fist and reminded us that our people and our country are always worth fighting for.
Is that what you're saying? Where did you get that theory from? A unicorn's ass?
There's a reason he is who he is.
He's a convict. Not some Zulu warlock.
So, as I say to the people of Europe,
He's a convict. Not some Zulu warlock.
Asia,
He's a convict.
Africa,
He's a convict.
Australia,
He's a convict.
Israel,
He's a convict.
Palestine,
He's a convict.
China,
He's a convict.
and the world.
He's a convict. Not some Zulu warlock.
And so the world will not forget this wannabe mobster and shark fearing Hannibal Lecter business license revocation, on probation, non-articulation, sexual predator creep. Everyone remember, he is just a fucking
Convict.
And what is he guilty of, you ask? Well, here's a reminder. And now, ladies and gentlemen, your 34 felon count indictment and convicted with 3 more cases that should have been heard, from stealing the United States nuclear secrets and then refusing to give them back, and then trying to hide them from the authorities, and then having the boxes moved around to prevent them from being returned to the authorities, and has been found guilty for sexual assault, while his business licenses have been revoked in New York, and tried to start an insurrection in America. But remember, the Supreme Court decided to give this man immunity, and his most important trials were pushed back in order for this white man to win back the presidency. So, for the leader of the new world, let's all remember for the next 4 years who this creep is, and that the world does not forget.